I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Cup of coffee.
It's hot.
It is hot because the air conditioning part of our heat pump died.
It's hot.
Paid $185.
My head hurts.
Had to call them
hot.
twice to come back. They didn't fix it. Then the last time they called, they said, "Oh, well, it'll cost. It's probably this, this, and this, and it will cost you extra if we have to come and work on it over the weekend."
Didn't even bother looking at the actual problem.
So, our buddy Omega was here when all this was going on, or at least after the second visit. And so hopefully he knows somebody that's got a fan that could be put in there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because people have a tendency sometimes to be unethical. Not saying that those people are trying to be intentionally unethical, but you know, when you're sitting there, it was one of those, I was gaslighted about the air conditioning unit working. And it's like, oh, well, it's cool. No, that's not how it feels when the actual air conditioning unit is on. Oh, no, it's just because of this and this and this. No, the thing was not working properly. That's why.
Yeah, literally the both of us were telling him, dude, this thing is not working.
And so.
And he was just like, no, it's this.
Right.
Just like.
So it's over 80 degrees.
You're lazy.
It's over 80 degrees in our house at this point.
It's hot.
It is. It is.
But it could be worse.
It could always be worse. So I figure that God is helping me detox. And this is like...
It's not like...
This is the sauna portion.
Not like a certain somebody's.
And so it's a matter of discussing medical
like
bullying.
Medical bullying?
Because I have... Just because you know things doesn't mean that you're exempt from being, caught up in things. Because it's easy to say that you wouldn't do until you have to do.
Right.
And make some of these choices.
Uh-huh.
And the Milgram experiment was a psychological experiment where had person in lab coat with clipboard and everything, and they took these willing participants in and had told them that there was a test subject on the other side of the wall, and that for this experiment, if the subject on the other side of the wall got an answer incorrect, that the person was supposed to administer an electrical shock.
Didn't we watch like something about that?
We did.
And literally, they're like, we're just doing what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
But you weren't forced.
Exactly. Nobody was holding a gun to them. Nobody told them that they were going to do anything. These people could have stood up and walked out at any point. And very few did. Very
few,
and
if
then
any.
Afterwards, there were some people that came back and complained and probably threatened to sue, and because God knows that that's everybody, becomes, ambulance chaser. But instead
they just
of
want
them,
the money.
Instead of them saying, "Hey, this taught me something about me," they're like, "Oh, well, I was manipulated, and I would have never done that," because they couldn't face who they really were on the inside.
Right. And all along, they weren't actually shocking anybody.
Right.
So they can't say, you made me harm someone, because they didn't.
Well, it's one of those, they made the thought. And the fact is, they would have. They didn't, but they would have.
Yep.
And we've got people screaming foul now. We've got people that are true victims of medical bullying going on now.
Yes.
And when I talk about detoxing at this point, this is not just the Lamictal. I'm talking about carbs.
So you're going through all of it?
I am, again, because I am type 1 diabetic. And that developed, I don't know, within the past 5 years. Don't know exactly how that happens. But at some point, my pancreas went, yeah, fuck you, I'm out.
It went, It's funny.
And so
That's not funny, but it's the way you put it.
I understand. And I had gone on the keto diet. I did a lot of research when they diagnosed me as type 2 diabetic, which I knew was primarily due to extreme long-term stress. I mean, just chronic, because that stress will just wring the life out of you. It will. And so I thought, okay, I researched on it and the whole insulin thing and all this bunch of stuff. And it made sense to me to not put carbs in your body. And so that was the keto trend, if you want to call it that. No, it's actually, for some people, it's a necessary thing.
Right. For some people, it really is.
So
gluten intolerance is a real thing, motherfuckers.
Gluten intolerance is a real thing. And there is the possibility that it's being caused because of some of these stuff that they are spraying on the crops.
Would not surprise me. Then why don't we wash the wheat?
Huh?
Then why don't we wash the wheat?
Because if we wash the pesticide off of it, that totally thwarts the depopulation thing, the agenda. Because that's real. That is real. But anyhow,
I'm talking
with the
about
keto,
the people who are like...
Okay, well, don't derail me here. I'm on a rant.
Okay.
Stay with me.
Okay.
And so it was a matter of going back to the diabetic doctor. When I cried, when they told me I was type 1, I sit there and I cried because I felt like I had failed. And then it was one of those going through, oh, you've got to have this educator, you've got to sit here for this, you've got to do this is how you do this, you're going to be on long-acting insulin, plus you're on a short, fast-acting insulin, which you have to take before meals, you have to do all this, and you have to do all that. And the one educator told me, she said, well, as long as you don't go over 45 grams of carbs, you're all right. I said, well, I don't usually go over 45 grams of carbs a day. And I thought the woman was going to pass out. And she's like, oh no, per meal, you have to have carbs. Your brain, you have to have carbs. So they scared the shit out of you. I mean, it was bullying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kept telling them and doing different things. It's like, look, I'm still having these highs. I'm still having these lows. And it was a matter of adjusting the insulin dosage and stuff like that.
Berries.
And I've had lows down in the 30s, and that it'll make you feel weird.
Berries. You need to live off of berries.
Berries. And so what was funny was when I had to go back to the diabetes specialist. Now, this man is an endocrinologist. He's done this for years. And I explained to him, I said, look, this is what's happening. I'm taking the insulin. I'm having a low before, whatever I'm eating kicks in. And then 4 to 5 hours later, then I'm having a high. Then I have to take more insulin to adjust for that. And he said, you might want to avoid gluten. I thought that I was going to fall in the floor.
No shit!
So when went back to regular doctor...
Did you do the whole...
Help me Jesus dramatic thing? No, I could have though. And explain to regular doctor. I did. I felt like screaming. But the more I've been thinking about it, it's a matter of... Because regular Dr. Ortiz... He does not medically bully people.
No, he doesn't. He's a really good doctor, and he actually listens.
When you have a professional that is supposed to know what the hell they're doing, and it's like we are all indoctrinated that we're supposed to trust people that are medical professionals or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So all of us have been indoctrinated by this Milgram experiment. This person has a lab coat on, so therefore you're supposed to. This person has a badge on, so therefore you're supposed to.
Yeah, I think the fuck not. Just because they do that, it's like, what's your qualifications?
Mm-hmm. And so, against my own better judgment, I went against my gut, which said this is insane, because when you eat more carbs, you have to have more insulin, and it's just this vicious fucking cycle. And I fell for it. I fell for it. Because they do. They will scare the shit out of you. Oh, if you don't do it the way that we said it, you're doing it this way? Oh, no. What do you know? You don't have letters behind your name. We are the experts. We know. And so what did I do? I fell for it. And so now it's a matter of having to go back and detoxify my body, because gluten intolerance is real. So is keto flu, which is your body trying to clear all these things out. And it sucks.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you're going through that.
It's okay.
Because you've been feeling bad all day.
I have, but I was feeling horrible even before. But part of that had to do with the gluten and whatever's on it, and just different things. There's a lot of, I don't know, it's a clusterfuck. It has been this medical mystery. I have been a case that House would have probably
You've been a case study.
Yeah, would have been confused by since I was 20 years old. But it's a matter
you up in a lab.
You don't stop trying. You don't stop trying to better yourself, or to research, or to hope, or different things like that.
No.
But anytime that a doctor tells you something, don't let them frighten you. Any kind of sickness, any kind of illness is frightening enough, because you don't know what's going on with your body.
I freaked out with the damn Effexor.
Yeah.
So that's why I said yes. One reason I said yes.
Absolutely. And it's like, if they give you a medication, and God love him, especially young people with psychiatric meds, you have to have family members that are willing to advocate for that individual. Because you can have some really disastrous things occur if a medication goes against a person.
Yep. And
Kid over there, oh my God, we went through some really, really rough months.
Yeah.
And he's off all of this stuff right now. And just grateful to God. You know, other than the Strattera.
Yeah. And the Tobamax.
Well, the Tobamax is for the migraines. That's different.
Yeah.
Which the heat in the house, heat is one of his migraine triggers, which that's
it's
not
hot.
helping him right now.
It's hot. My head, yeah. That's why I'm sort of low energy, because my head started hurting.
Yeah, well,
bad.
both of us are kind of low energy, but that's all right.
And I did take some Advil.
Yeah.
So I was on top of it, but it's still like...
well, this is one of those things. It's matter
hot.
of... It is hot. And it's like, this is the kid that for months would bitch at me. You've got it too cold in here. You got it. And I'm like, go in there and put more clothing out, because
I'm a fucking hamster. I need it the right temperature.
He has lost a lot of weight over the past several years. And so he gets cold easily. And I'm like, look, you're running around in shorts and a t-shirt. Go in there and put some sweats on, put a hoodie on, because once our house gets hot, it takes it forever to cool down, because it's a brick house. It's like a brick oven. One
giant
oven. Mm-hmm. And so when Kid is like sweat rolling off of me there last night, very fitful sleep, and he couldn't sleep either, and I hear him in the other room, it's hot in here. I said, I will come in there and I will beat your ass.
I was mostly trying to make
you spoke
laugh.
This. You spoke this.
And I'm like, how the fuck did I speak this? I'm just like, it's cold. I'll be cold. Even with layers on, I'm cold.
So he has got Detox Mama, plus who's like hot, brain fog, everything like that. So, you know, if he comes on here and he's like, Mama got an assault charge last night,
but right
you'll know
now,
what
it
happened.
actually feels decent in the house at the moment.
But
It's a comfortable temperature that I'm like, Yes, this is like, I like this.
If a doctor or somebody like that tells you something, question. If you go out of the office, sit and really think about what they have said. And if it does not sit right with you, ask questions.
Yeah.
Call back. Talk to your pharmacist. Do research online. Talk to different people that have used whatever they're suggesting.
Right? Just do that.
Trust your gut.
Yes.
Trust your heart always. Validate it. But if something doesn't, I'm one of these, it's like, if it doesn't sit right with me, it's like, no. But after you get medically bullied for so long, you got to do. And it can break you down. It can psychologically break you down.
It really can.
And so now it's a matter of detoxing and pissed off, and the heat does not help with the pissed offness at all. No. It makes that worse.
Yeah.
Kid's safe. He actually is safe.
Am I?
You are. I have coffee. As long as I have coffee and cigarettes, I'm good. And I do have some rum in there if necessary. Because guess what? Rum is keto friendly. So is vodka.
Spick and Span makes a great floor cleaner.
Which has nothing to do with rum or vodka.
No.
Or coffee.
Vodka.
But now Kid has
Vodka is a cleaner. It cleans you and it cleans everything else.
Well, that's true. And as a parent of an adult kid that was being fucking medically bullied, and I knew it, and I was losing my shit. I really was. Now, thank God for Dr. Ortiz, because that one day he truly did stop me from getting an assault charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can talk about it now, couldn't at that point, but I'm like, bitch, let me tell you something. I've lived with this kid. This is my kid. Mm-hmm. This is somebody you've talked to for 15 minutes and you're going to start in on my shit. Mm-mm. No. And I had that look. And Dr. Ortiz came over and he sort of, I think he took my hand. And he's like, this is not the time to talk about that. Let's deal with what's going on right now. And he calmed my ass down. Now that was that shaman part of him.
Yeah. Yeah, that mediator.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes with that Virgo also.
He's a fucking Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, mediator. He's a Virgo! Why is he Virgo?
And he's the only reason that I backed
Jenna Marbles
off.
anyone.
But every concern that I had came to pass. Everyone. That pisses me off too. Anyhow, kids detoxing. Huh?
Every what?
Concern.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was another reason I'm not sorry that God got me out of mental health counseling. Because you would sit there and go, there's a problem, there's a problem, there's a problem. It was like sitting there going, cliff, cliff, cliff. And watching people just dive over the edge. And then these other people that could have prevented the problem going, oh, look, there was a problem. It's like, no shit. I have a low tolerance for stupid. I really do. And this is why I stay in the house, because it's everywhere.
The way that you put the cliff thing, the way that you said the final one, that actually threw me off guard, because usually you're like, Cliff! Not Cliff!
I have microphones, so I was aware of my levels. I was trying to be aware of my levels, not too paradank.
Well, it shook me because it sounded more fearful than humorous.
Well, it's a matter of watching. I've seen some horrific things. I've seen some horrific, results of medical bullying. I think everybody has, especially lately. And so it's a matter of I'm taking this time to detox not just the body from gluten, but I'm going to detox my mind and my spirit. That's the reason I got off the Lamictal, was because I felt like it was blocking my connection with God and with, higher self, or, subconscious, whatever you want to say. Mm-hmm. And I truly think that it was. I'm going to detox my spirit to get out of some of this, where all of us have been indoctrinated. You have to realize it's happened before you can formulate a game plan of how to undo it.
You do.
So
That's true.
That's my rant on medical bullying. If you are a medical professional, watch what you're doing. Watch what you're saying.
Watch your ass.
Even as far as your facial expressions when you're there with a patient. You be, especially
Watch
if
your
somebody is
ass.
afraid. That is a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, and God will hold you accountable. He's going to hold all of us accountable.
Yes.
Final thoughts,
Watch
kid.
your ass.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. Just watch your ass.
Yeah. That's it. For
Okay.
now. That's all I
You've-
got.
If you've had
I
experiences,
said what I needed to say. I said what I said.
Okay. If you've had experiences with the paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, medical bullying, if you would like to share your experiences, ways that you have realized that you've been, as far as victim of the psychological operations, the PsyOps, way that you've been mind fucked. If you want to share those in the comment section, or if you want to send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and that's there in the description box.
And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good. Did I interrupt you?
Not at all. No, not at all. You're doing good. You just roll with it, baby. You just roll with it.
I thought I was.
Know that you're
And then
loved.
I came to a screeching halt.
Know that you're loved. And let us pray one for another, because that's what's going to get us all through.
Yeah.
And Lord willing,
Prayers.
Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow